Hello and welcome. This one is all about the NASA Space Lego because there is a new 3-in-1 roller coaster that's coming out. Everybody knows about that one. But what I want to try and do is backtrack some of the older sets that came out, I think, at the start of this year or the end of last year, or it might have even been the start of last year. And I know there aren't a big sale currently within the UK, so I want to see exactly what is available on the Lego website, and then how it would work for theming. So we have got a couple of different bits and pieces that was available. So if you can see here in the top right hand corner, you got the Women of NASA, but what we want is the actual Lego City sets. So something like the International Space Station would have looked very, very impressive over the top of that track. So I think maybe if we start with the actual 3-in-1, which is this thing here. So this is your space roller coaster. It's a 3-in-1. I'm 100% going to be getting this because obviously I've got a theme park and I need more roller coasters in there. I've got the red one. Need to backtrack and hurry up and get that loop, but this is going to go in absolutely perfectly. Now you can obviously buy more than one because you have got a nice drop tower, and then you've also got a UFO. I wouldn't do the UFO one because I'd rather get the 3-in-1 UFO set. So if I was to get it twice, I would use it for this and the actual coaster. But as you can see, there's no coaster tracks involved on this, so I think kind of might defeat the object a little bit, but we'll see. We will see. So see how many pieces it actually uses up. But then at the same time, I guess if I bought a second set, could you then make the track much, much longer and whatever else? But we'll figure that out. We'll cross that bridge as it comes. So there's going to be a lot of videos on this kind of thing coming because this gets released on the 1st of August, and I will potentially be picking this one up within the first week because I can then just get on with my own display. But this is what we are talking about. But what I need to speak with you guys and girls, and obviously if this helps you all, is the other sets that were out, which, to be honest, I had absolutely no idea. It wasn't until I walked into one of our local toy shops, I think Smith's, and they had this lunar base on a big sale. So this was 30 quid knocked off as it is at the moment. But the reason why I'm using this is depending on when this video gets uploaded, it might be back to full price. But I think some of these are quite big brick counts. So this one, for example, is 786, 720 VIP points, and is 89.99. But just with regards to theming and things like that, I think this might look quite nice. So you can see it comes with lots of the different minifigures, and you've got all of the other little bits and pieces going on. So I've got a bit of a soft spot for the space sets. I've got some of the older ones, which I could potentially just use, but I thought this is almost the same sort of shape to the actual space set that we've just seen with regards to like all the queue line and everything else. So we could just have this dotted around. I know one, if I can't make this work, because I'm going to have to wait until after the roller coaster's built. If this doesn't work with regards to the shape and we can't do much with it, what I can do is there will be another one that I will want to pick up. But if we make these bigger for everybody, and then we can go through. So if you knew these existed, have you got them? Obviously, let me know what you think. I really like the minifigures. I really like the colours. And I have got quite a big bit of display space that I can do these with. Like I said, I've got the big red roller coaster. I want to get the big blue loop roller coaster. And I thought, well, if we make a big space coaster as well, and then have them fully themed in their own individual thing, then that might work quite well. So if you are a NASA space fan, then like I said, this video is definitely going to be for you. And if you think I should get two and make one massive coaster so it goes with almost the scale, I guess, of the loop and the red one, let me know. So I'll be intrigued to see what we can do. But you can see here, look, you've got the two minifigures in there. I think the torso prints and everything on them look really nice. I have also got the NASA Space People pack as well. So there's a lot going on with this by the looks of it. And you've got these bits and pieces in here. So I think, from what I've heard of other people say, is that this is actually a concept that NASA have created, I think. But looking at this straight away, you can... So this bit here is obviously the... I was going to say the lander, but it's their sort of mobility vehicle. That is another separate thing. I've seen that separately, and that obviously connects straight to this. So that would look really nice as like a display piece with both of those side by side. So that's something to take into consideration with regards to the space. Not only the space set, but the actual space that this thing takes up as well. These are a better look at all of the minifigures. So you've got the really nice leg print. You've got nice torso print. I like the just everything about these sorts of things. I think the NASA symbol looks quite cool, and he looks pretty cool with his orange bit. Not 100% sure what that's supposed to be, but I'm sure some of you already got this, and we don't hear too much about the NASA stuff over in the UK, or if we do, it just goes straight over my head, so it's not something that I follow too much. But then at the same time, I think the sets go away. The sets are pretty good. So that is one of the biggest sets that are available. That is the base. Now there is a shuttle as well. Obviously there's going to be, but there is some other smaller sets. Now it's the smaller sets I thought that might work, or what I was thinking is, let me go to the one I was thinking about first. Where is it? This. So it's right, it's funny enough, it's right beside this. So it's the Lunar Space Station. Now I thought this would look quite nice because you've got these pieces just here. So you've got the bit with the yellow on, and obviously the bit with the grey. Forget what the station looks like. But if you can get some more of these sort of cylinder pieces and make it taller, and then obviously clip it in from the bottom as well. What I was eyeballing on the actual coaster, which is all the way down here, is it does look like it is biblically caught. You can obviously you can use the base, because I like the look of the coaster itself, but there's just a lot of open studs. So I thought, well, actually, if we could sort of raise it up around here, and obviously you've got the smaller sort of space module, and you've got the little space rocket and all the other little bits and pieces going on. If we can attach it somewhere going through the tracks or around the outside of the track, and then it was much higher up on this bit, for example, over, so they actually went underneath the space station, just to give it a bit more height and just something a little bit more about it. I think that would look really nice. And obviously, if I do get a second one and I customize it even more, I might be able to wrap the track around some of the other little bits and pieces as well. But you do have its own little baby rocket. In fact, you can see there that there is two of them. So when we go to look at the bigger one, I don't think we're going to really need that one, I don't think. So the bigger one that I'm talking about is the rocket launch, which is this one, because this one here actually had a roller coaster track going to it, so that could have worked quite well. But you have got the rocket launch center just there, which we will click on in a second. But let's get back to this. So the Lunar Space Station, it's $54.99. Again, it comes with 5 minifigures. Those minifigures look really nice, bright and vibrant, which is a cool looking thing. 500 pieces, 440 VIP points, item number 60349. Now, if you're wondering, I've gone into Smith's, but I can't see it in Smith's, you can't. For some reason, over in the UK, all these sets that are available on the LEGO website are only on the LEGO website or the LEGO store. And then what they've done in the toy shops, they've made each set of these exclusive to the store. So the one that we just clicked on, and the Lunar drive around, or the vehicle, is Smith's. This is John Lewis and Argos, but they don't do the other ones, and I haven't seen the big station anywhere. So if you are going to try and either backtrack these or hunt these down, it's there is quite a lot to do behind it. But you can see it's inspired by NASA's Lunar Getaway. So obviously it's just sort of, I guess it's more of a concept bit, but it has got Revere. So I'm not too sure if that's based on an actual astronaut or whatnot. But I think it's a nice, I think out of everything so I've seen, this would be the best with regards to going over the top of the coaster and just giving it that theming. And let's be honest, this bit here could just be doubling up as the computer control to actually set off the actual ride, couldn't it? It's where the members of staff sit, so that could work quite well. So what else is there though with that? Because I don't know if this splits up, because I do like it when they do split up, especially when we're doing like rides and things. So it does look like the front of it comes off, so you can obviously, looks like you can close the hatch on that. So if you wanted to have two things flying around, you could have this in a separate place, and then I could shrink this one down. So as to shrink it down a little bit, then potentially I wouldn't need to worry about some bits snapping off at the front. So that's always handy to know, because it would be this bit here and this bit here that I'd be really looking at and just seeing if it will go into. Potentially I would pick this up at the same time as the coaster track, I'm thinking. Or I'd do it before, and then we do a separate video of me actually installing everything at the same time. Who knows? Who knows? But you can see that looks cool. It's a separate thing. I do like the look of that. And then they've got the anti-gravity room, and they've got little sleeping quarters in there as well. So there's a lot to these sets that I have just completely slept on. It's not, it's not something that I thought, well, I was going to use in a theme park, but the second they released a theming of a roller coaster of that, I can now get all over it, which is brilliant. But you can see, so that is actually then in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 sections, isn't it? But obviously you would just keep these 3 main sections together. So you keep that big bit, and the end bit together. And then obviously if you wanted to, you can pull the pin out on that and have them separately. So there's a lot going on for the price point, because if you think like the recycle wagon and the little trucks and things, they were what, 36 when they first came out. So I think it'd be quite nice just to have that little bit of height over the coaster. I think, especially if that space one is quite flush to the floor. Right. So the next thing is this one here. So this is the next one that's current. So obviously this is the big one. It's 129.99. This obviously has quite a bit going on, and there's a lot going on the back end, I do believe. So again, you can see it's inspired at the top. It's big set. It's 1,010 pieces. It's item number 60351. You get 1,040 VIP points, and it's 7 plus. So lots of different bits and pieces going on with that. Now, obviously, at all the Legoland parks, the NASA section for their Miniland is absolutely enormous. But again, with regards to the minifigures and the little bits and pieces that got going on there, I think it could work quite well for theming, and see potentially we could use some of this for like shops and just have it as its own complete land, if we find anything else. So have you got any ideas with regards to anything? Because obviously the first thing that comes to mind for this NASA rocket is obviously a drop tower. So it just shoots up and back down. And it does look like they all separate. So you've got the octane fuel, which is always a really nice Easter egg in any set. You've got the bit in the middle. He's not happy I've zoomed in too much. And then you've got that bit at the top. It does look like you've got a working lift on the back as well. So that'll go all the way up to the top. So you've got a bit of string that you can take the people up. So you can use that as a ride then, because what we could have is like that could just be like a drop thing where it shoots up and back down again. But the only thing is that would be exactly the same as the alternate build of the rocket coaster, I think. I'm sure that's what that is. It's basically the same kind of thing. Obviously, the rocket coaster is meant for that, whereas that would be just a made-up version of. Yes, but this, see, bizarrely with this, it only has, obviously, it's just got the one seat, but it has got the two bits. But you can see up at the top here, it's on its own completely different mechanism. So you can actually make this work and go up and down as a drop. And you can see it's just it's a smaller thing. So what would you do? Would you spend, bear in mind, you will get, this is obviously cheaper than the big set, but the big set will be in a sale soon and probably at this price. Would you get the bigger set for theming and just say it's this, or would you just get this and then use the track and not worry about getting the big rocket because you've got a rocket just there? And you've got another ride at the front as well, haven't you? So there's actually quite a bit going on with this one. You've got the little baby minifigures, and she's got a cool little torso print on the front. So I'm possibly favouring getting two of these over a period of time. Also, I've built for the uploads and stuff. I'll build each variation and finish with the track, and then obviously just go from there. Obviously, the Apollo Saturn would have made a really big display piece. This thing was massive, wasn't it, for the Lego Ideas? It was 1,969 bricks, but the height of this thing, I think, was huge. 39 inches tall. So it's a big chunky thing. I don't know what the value of these things are now, but again, that would have been some really nice theming. Have that in the middle with the roller coaster track going around the outside, and you would have been laughing. That woman, the woman of NASA, that might be quite a cool little thing to pick up just as a walk around museums. It's obviously you've got the different members of staff and just who does what. Never ever seen this in the UK. I don't even recognise the box. So if you've seen this, let me know. But this is Lego Ideas number 19. So this might be in my dark ages. So that might be why I've never seen it before. So I have learned something new, because I've just been doing my research through our local toy shops, but I thought it'd be easier doing it on this. But the minifigures I come with are really, really smart. Well, that might be a bit of a challenge. Try and pick up one of them. I think that might be a cool bit. If I am going to go theming wise, because it's going to go from the Ninjago, a Monkey Kid, into the Space Rocket roller coaster, and it would just be behind me when I do all the videos. Now there is another thing. There is the thing. So it is the Lunar Rover. Now, there we go. That was the word. So this is a great price, and it's even better because I know I can get that for about £9 off. So it's 20 quid, I think, currently. So that would be worth getting sooner rather than later, I think, just because obviously it's in the sale, and it's got that's the opposite image, isn't it? So that's the bit where it goes into the side, so that bit opens up, so that comes off the base. I think the lunar thing by itself would work just by itself. It's just quite cool to have all the astronauts walking around it, and you can do some different bits and pieces with it. I don't know necessarily if the base would actually work, but like I said, I can pick that up at a very, I think it's £64 you can get that for now instead of it being 89. I think it was like around the £30 knocked off mark. But they did come with some really nice minifigures. I keep clicking back too quickly, so I do apologise. So let's have a look at the actual minifigures. I am sweating. Right, here we go. So you've got three minifigures. I'm assuming, I'm not a rocket science by any means, but I'm assuming that because he's not in a space suit, this isn't meant to be on space, which works perfectly for me, being a vehicle. So that's ideal, because obviously I would imagine his head would explode, wouldn't he? So I'm guessing he's going to be unless he's the driver, because he has got no, there's only two space hats. So any ideas who that is or what that is about? Because you can obviously see the two minifigures on the box, but I can't see. Oh, he is there. He's there driving around. And obviously you can see all the wheels go about. So you can get some nice photos of that. It'll crab walk around and everything else. But he's just in his baseball cap. So something different. I've never seen that torso print on him either, with the sort of the NASA jacket, which you can see he's got his badge up at the top, and he's got like the I've had an accident brown with the red sleeves, and then he's got the blue bit underneath, and obviously these two minifigures to his left and right, they look really nice as well. So £29.99, that is obviously available to get if you wanted to pick yourself up one of those from the Lego store. 275 pieces, 240 VIP points. I think that would work with that space coaster. I think of the two that make sense would be the Lunar Space Station, and have that up nice and high, and then have the lunar vehicle lower Voltron. I just don't know about this. I don't know if that would work, or if we can again just raise this up and it's over the top, and you have the space station over the track, and then you have the lunar bit over the top. But it's only for extra theming, so you don't really need to spend that amount of money. But obviously, I can get it cheaper as it stands, or you can wait until double VIP points or whatever it is that you want to do. But I just don't know if it will go with everything else. Does that make sense? Because to me, that does scream queue line. I know it sounds stupid, but I would imagine what you'd be able to do, hopefully, is you'd be able to go into what I'm assuming would be the garage. And then, this is bad, isn't it? But you've got the shorter way and the longer way, obviously, but bear with me. And it looks like it's got a double doodah flap. So you've got the flap on there just behind that button, and you've got the flap on there just on that button. So obviously you've got your fast track passes on this side, and then you've got your short passes on that side, and then the queue would then go straight in, and the member of staff will be stood either side. And all you would have to do is build something up with some more barriers just on the inside, just in here, and then go through. So that would be specifically for a queue line. I'm selling that to myself now, because again, going back to the ride, if I remember rightly, those 3-in-1s, they don't have the queue line bits added to them like they do with the actual other coasters. So the other coasters, it zigzags through, whereas here, look, where you've got it is just on the box, down where the blue lady is, just down here, you have nothing. So if you think how you're actually supposed to get on, I don't know, looking at that, what you've got to walk over. But what I do like is, you see it says a light brick included. It does light up, so that'll look really, really nice lit up at night. So that's a really nice thing. So I just don't know if this bit here is either just where they stand, because obviously this is a smaller version of what we've just seen, isn't it, for them to get on the ride. So yeah, maybe I can sort of tart it up a little bit and just get all the space stuff, and I think that might look quite nice. But the UFO one, unless you can do both alternate builds, so you can do in that one and that one, I would only potentially just do this. Because that does look quite tall, to be honest, so that would look quite nice, and then just use the rest of the track. And obviously if you're going to use the rest of the track, you're just going to have to get yourself either some more supports and just make it a little bit taller or whatever else. But we can figure that one out. But let us know, guys. Let us know in the comments below what you think. Let me know if that's been helpful whatsoever, or if you've got any of those sets and what you think of the minifigures. Just scrolling back through the rest of the NASA stuff. Obviously, like I said, with the older ones, that potentially could have made more sense. This one here, this actually had Toy of the Year for 2020, I think. I had my eye on this for, here we go, 2020. I had my eye on this for ages for this sort of idea, because look, you've got the bit where they can just shoot around the track and come back through. So maybe out the two, rather than getting the rocket from the one, I could get another ride and have this for this bit and just try and backtrack set number 60228. And just use that as the ride, because you've got the staircase there, which looks really, really nice. Again, you've got your queue line just up at the top if you wanted to, so that could just all be your theming. I think it looks really smart. And I would imagine this is potentially what that Indiana Jones set that got cancelled kind of track would have been like. So kind of slept on that one a little bit, but then at the same time, it might be good fun trying to backtrack that one. So let us know which one do you prefer. Also, I think the rocket's better on the other one, but I wouldn't do anything with the rocket. I just want the track, so I could mix and match the two, have that as its own little baby ride. Backtrack the Women of NASA, the Lunar Space Research Base, maybe get that last, depending on what's what. But I think the first thing to get would be the Lunar Space Station and the Space Roller Coaster. But guys, that's enough of me waffling on and boring you. Let me just click the page once to make sure they've not slipped over, which they have done. So you've got some more space on here. No. So obviously the other option is you go something completely different. Now, actually, that does lead me to this. So what I could do is instead they have got in the Monkey King range, because I do like this. So do I have this by the space stuff, and then we have a crossover because it would go from the Monkey Kid into the NASA space, and I think that just looks like it's like a slide or something. I mean, if I could actually get some track as a slide to go around it, there's your queue line, straight up, straight on and down, or we could just have something for it. What do you think I could use this for, and would that work instead of the other bit, and we can mix and match? But I do like the Monkey Kid stuff. I just don't know if that would actually work with the Ninjago and Monkey Kid section, because I think I don't know if we could have that, and that could actually just be a ride. That could just be a ride in that instead. Who knows? But let us know. Let us know what you think I should get, because obviously they're thereabouts the same price. So do I just go get this set first, rather than the space track, or vice versa, or whatever? But there's some really nice bits and pieces within this. I'm starting to pay more and more attention to all of the Monkey Kid and the Ninjago stuff. And again, lots of different minifigures. They look fantastic. And look at the cat as well. That might have sold me on that. So he or she looks absolutely amazing. And then that is that. But guys, that's it. I am done. So let me know again what you think. Let us know what you've got. Let me know what you think of this set as well. Do I mix and match it? Do I do a crossover? Do I just stick with the Monkey Kid and don't worry about the NASA stuff for now? You let me know. And obviously, there'll be unboxing videos linked to all these sets that I'll be getting as well. But guys, if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ta-da.